I'm sure you guys have met your partner's friends, and there one or two people that you're like, that person, right? Like it's just how it is. So I get that.
It depends what they're doing around them as well. Yeah. I mean, there are definitely toxic friends. I had an ex-girlfriend once who just one of her friends were all just kids, and I couldn't stand it. And I was like, just don't hang out with them. She wouldn't listen to me.
But like our other partners should be given the room to like, they should be able to be around certain behaviors, and like it depends on the relationship to be able to really control yourself
to an extent. You are who you hang out with.
No, it's literally exactly
you reflect who you hang out with to a very large extent, and I think that if you're surrounding yourself with people that have horrible behaviors and patterns, that you're gonna
that
copy
saying
those
where
as well.
It's like if you hang out with people that smoke all the time,
absolutely,
eventually you are going to pick up a cigarette and smoke it with
you
them.
are who you whatnot.
You are who you hang out with.
But also at an extent, you gotta put an accountability of your own, like.
Yeah, you do have to practice self-control, but it comes to an extent.
Like,
if she's hanging out with these low lifes constantly, she's going to be reflecting those behaviors that they're engaging in. Of course, if you have a friend that's going through a hard time and they're currently engaging in toxic behaviors, that's a little bit different. You're being a good friend, but then you also, like I said, you have to practice self-control and not encourage those behaviors or enact.
Do you mind if we go around on the question I said before? What would you girls prefer? A man with no boundaries or very strong boundaries, and why?
I would say a man with very strong boundaries, because like I said earlier, if he doesn't have boundaries with you, he doesn't have boundaries with other people in his life, and that's a red flag to me personally. I think that if it comes from a good place and good intentions to help you in life and like help you not hang out with people that are doing drugs or stuff like that, I think that it's a positive thing, honestly.
Can you think of a situation where somebody's ever had too strong of boundaries with you? If you're out on a night out, for example, and then he's like texting you every half an hour, where are you, what time should I pick you up, etc., is that a turn off, or are you happy that he cares?
No, I think that it's like he cares about me. Like he wants to make sure I get home safe. Like I don't view it as a way of like him being like, oh, she's doing something sketchy. Like I view it as a way of like, oh, I care about you. I want to make sure that you get home safely and that you're like protected. And that's what I look for. I want to be protected and all that stuff, like in a relationship. Yeah.
If he's texting every like 20 minutes, I think that's codependency, though. There's a fine line between really strict boundaries and then just having insecurity. Yeah.
Leave some space to like talk about your day, or like leave some space for space. Everyone needs it.
Doing something so simple and did not have the time to text is a text for a reason, so you can read it later. And if it's important, you call, or you can't be that upset at the end of the day. Like,
yeah, I don't think you should discuss anything super important over text, just because like you can't see what they're trying to express.
It's not personal.
There's room for miscommunication as well. Yeah,
totally.
Like,
and maybe
100%.
that's what was happening with that
like
whole
the
scandal.
phone,
She read it
thing
completely different.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? No boundaries or too strict boundaries?
I mean, somewhere in the middle would be
not the question.
Like nice,
either
but
one.
I would definitely go for boundaries. Right. That shows that you're self-aware enough to have set those boundaries, or at least thought that.
I mean, when I say strict boundaries, I mean Jonah boundaries.
I wouldn't say
that's
those are
not
strict.
really that strict.
You don't think they're strict?
I don't think so. I think that
he seems like he just figured that out.
Yeah.
But let's put this. If the strict boundaries were you can't post on social media, you have to give up your Instagram.
That's a strict boundary.
If you're supporting me, and we're like going strong, I want to have a family with you. I see myself spending the rest of my life. Yeah.
So you'd give up your Instagram?
If the man took care of me, yeah, for sure.
You guys would all give up your Instagrams?
No.
I love to be spoiled.
Why not?
Because that's...
This is the guy. You like this guy. What does Instagram give you that he can't?
You should not be that insecure to a level to think that like me having an Instagram is gonna ruin our bond.
Right. So the act of him saying that is a turn off.
But what if he's like everything else matches everything that you would be looking for, but the one thing is he's saying like just get rid of the Instagram? Because maybe from his perspective, it's like if he's giving you everything you need, like what would you need from Instagram?
That's really
like
tough.
Other men's validation?
No. What if I this is what I want to post my art. I want to share my art with the world.
Your
like,
art.
This
if
is
he
like,
said you can have your art page,
website? You want to pay,
but not
but
your
I can't
page.
post myself.
Yeah, exactly. You can have your
What's
art
wrong
page.
with me? Why can't I do that? Like,
It's just his boundaries. It's just.
But why is that a boundary? Is it because you're
I don't know
afraid
the
that
guy.
other people are gonna like steal me away, or like what's the deal? You know what I mean? I
Well,
gotta know
I
the
mean,
reason. I gotta
that
know
probably-
the reason. That depends.
That probably is a reason. Is
So
the
then
fact that
that's
there are
something you
there are
need
a
to
lot of
figure out
there are a
for
lot of
yourself,
girls.
my boy.
There are a lot of girls who are getting a lot of attention from a lot of guys on Instagram. Instagram is the biggest dating app in the world.
You're still advertising
Yeah.
yourself as single
And
on
maybe
Instagram.
maybe it's not as much like you as much as it is like guys know guys, and so knowing what other guys are thinking as they're like scrolling through and looking at your stuff, like maybe he's just not comfortable with the idea of you putting yourself out there for other men to kind of have access to in that way.
Guys know guys, but I know myself. And if you're dating me and you really care about me like that and know me, then you should know that the attention or other people can't steal that. You know what I mean? And if that's not the case, then don't talk to me.